Say hello to Nitrous and Nitrobacter, two forms of bacteria currently playing supporting roles in the biological treatment of wastewater here in Santa Barbara that are about to become the stars. To understand how these two bacteria will help, you first have to understand the role bacteria plays in the wastewater treatment process.
And it's a biological process. The microorganisms are feeding on the leftover organic matter that comes from the primary treatment process. Then once they have a full stomach, you settle them out in the secondary clarifiers, you return them back around for another feeding and in a continuous cycle of treatment. It's very important to keep the concentration of organisms properly maintained and provide them the environment they need to thrive.
But the bacteria doing most of the heavy lifting of organics removal now aren't particularly good at removing nutrients from the wastewater. And while water discharged into the ocean from Estero meets all regulatory requirements, less of this so-called turbidity would be even better. It'd also be better for the recycled water system that is downstream from the secondary process. That's where Nitrous and Nitrobacter come in. You see, these so-called nitrifying bacteria have a penchant for some of the stuff that's up till now been particularly difficult to remove from wastewater.
So the nitrifying bacteria that we're going to be growing moving forward break the ammonia and nitrogenous material down to remove it from the system. So there's a nitrogen cycle. It's similarly occurring in plants. So there's a whole nitrogen cycle in plants. That's why manure has nitrogen in it and phosphorus and other nutrients. And so we're trying to remove these nutrients from the water so we don't cause nutrient pollution in the receiving waters and then for our recycled water.
The problem is these nitrifying bacteria are a little picky about their living conditions, and the 40-year-old equipment currently at Estero isn't capable of supporting them. That's one of the reasons Estero is beginning a complete overhaul of the secondary process.
All the different microorganisms, they all have a different life cycle, and we can change the types of microorganisms growing in the system by changing the time we maintain the microorganisms in the system. Nitrifying bacteria need 5 to 8 days to grow. So right now we're running around 2 days. We're going to be going to 5 to 8 days moving forward with the project. So we'll be able to grow and cultivate these microorganisms that we cannot currently grow.
The improvements will give Estero staff more precise control of the aerobic process and keep those nitrifying bacteria happy. But the bacteria won't be the only ones to benefit from the project.
One of the major benefits with the project is the energy efficiency that we're going to get. Electrical costs are a major operating cost at the facility, and so with the new blowers and the new mixers, they're going to be much more efficient at delivering the air and keeping everything sustained.
I guess you could compare it to, a car built in 1970 versus a car built in the year 2016. So if you can think about the emissions from a car from the 70s or how much gas you're burning, same effect.
In addition to equipment and monitoring improvements in the secondary process, the primary process will get some upgrades too.
We're moving to a chemically enhanced primary treatment, which allows us to remove more solids and material from the primary clarifiers, which then goes to the digesters, and we'll be able to produce more biogas. And right now we're currently producing 70% of our own power on site from another project, our cogeneration facility, and this will allow us to hopefully increase that gas production to produce more power on site.
The $31 million project is being financed through a state revolving fund loan.
It's a low-interest loan to the city where we'll be paying about 1.9% over 20 years for the project. Increases started in 2014 to pay for this.
The new secondary process improvement project will not only keep a lot of bacteria happy, it'll keep the 100,000 customers of Estero wastewater treatment plant happy too. The project will improve efficiency and the quality of water that goes to the recycled water facility and to the ocean. And while you may not think much about the intricacies of wastewater treatment, the good folks at Estero have got you covered, so thankfully, you don't have to.